This is a Headgum podcast.
Boom, 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 boom. Is that what you
Take those old rabbit trousers. I wasn't singing that.
What were you singing?
What song was I singing?
Was that Dawson's Creek? No.
I don't want to. Was it like Julio Iglesias?
I don't know that one.
Remember that other? Was that Enrique Iglesias? Girl, please excuse me if I'm coming too strong.
Oh, Tonight I'm Loving You?
No. Baby, I like it. The
Guess
way
the
you
song.
move on the floor. Baby, I like it.
I don't know that song.
I don't
You
know
that
this song.
What's that?
What's this? If you like pina colada.
I was tired of my lady.
Rupert
We've been
Holmes?
together too long.
All right, let's have a singing contest real quick. So
Oh, great.
I'm gonna show all y'all who I've been taking singing lessons.
Oh,
How are they going, by the way?
I only had one so far.
Yeah.
how'd that one go? You gonna stick
it
with
was
it?
great. I missed the last 3 classes. All right, here we go. See, but I have to think of a song. Actually, maybe y'all can help me. Cause I need to come back with a song that I need to learn to sing. Okay, what's a good song for that?
A good song to sing?
All right, here's my song. It's 7 o'clock on the dot. All right, I'm gonna do it for real. Ready? It's 7 o'clock on the dot. Hold on, I'm gonna do it for real. Hold on. It's 7 o'clock on the dot. I'm in my drive time, cruising the street.
Wait a minute.
Oh,
So
there was
are you doing the techniques that she tell you to do? Like you
Not
singing
right.
from your
All
diaphragm?
right, let me do it. Let me do what she said. She said I gotta breathe. It was only like 20 minutes.
It was a text she sent you.
Yeah,
And it's
it was
in
a text
person?
message. Yeah.
I'm about to take this class too.
It was cool. I just been out of town. That's why I haven't been back. But, okay, your turn. That was pretty good.
Do I gotta sing the same song?
No,
No,
whatever
you
you
sing
want
whatever
to
song. What song are you gonna present to the vocal coach?
I'm going to bring all two of
All
y'all.
two of you, all 3 of y'all.
to the
I can't think of a non-Usher song, so I'm just like, baby, let me love you down. So many ways to love you.
Yeah, that's.
I can sing when I hear other people sing, I think. Go ahead. What's yours?
It's like the King's Speech.
So
You just gotta distract yourself.
Usher song. I'm gonna go high.
Okay.
All right, let me see if I can do it. All right, Rochelle, get your Usher song ready, cause you're going next. Going nowhere fast, we've reached the climax. We're together, now we're undone. Won't commit, so we choose to run away.
Oh, I love that
Do
song.
we
It's a great song.
separate? Oh. All right, Rochelle's your
That made me
turn.
cry, huh?
Please, God, no.
Rochelle.
Oh, you gonna sing Peace God Nobody?
Yeah, which
Please
one?
God Nobody.
I love that.
That's a good one.
Deep cut.
Well, we're gonna keep working. We'll keep track. So every month or so, let's do this. We'll bring it back. And
I love that.
And see if I'm getting better at singing.
Can you bring me back even if there's another guest and just be like, all right, Demi's here for the intro, and then I'll leave.
Yeah.
Before
I
we
just
get
need
to you,
do something with
we got to
Demi
do something
real
with
quick.
Demi real quick. Everybody listening to the podcast, first of all, hello, Gossip Royalty. We are back. We are back.
We are back. So excited to be back.
So excited to be back.
Season three.
Season 3. We live, direct. We live. This happening right now. So stop what you're doing right now and listen to this and keep doing what you're doing.
But stop it.
But stop it. But keep doing it because we don't want to stop you from doing what you're doing. You're probably doing something important right now, cutting beans. You shucking peas right now. Everybody who's listening to this right now is shucking peas for dinner. Yeah, take that chicken out of the freezer you forgot. To the teenagers listening to this, take the chicken out of the freezer. Your parents are gonna be mad if the meat is not thawed when they get home from work.
Yeah, that's for real. I used to mess that up all the time. My mom would be like, take the chicken out of the freezer.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, got it, Mom. And I forget. And then
I forget.
we would eat
I had
nothing
to put that shit in the
night.
microwave, and then my mom be like, "Why is this hot?"
Have you ever ate microwave chicken? You ever done that?
No.
No, I put it in there on defrost.
Oh.
I was always like, it's just like now the chicken's all watery and it doesn't cook the same.
Yeah.
I try to be good about defrosting it, but whenever I can't, there was a time where it's like, all right, let's try and microwave and get it out, but I quickly was like, this sucks, and I was just like, we're just not eating chicken tonight.
Not no
Yeah.
chicken.
Not as a kid. As a
Yeah,
kid,
yeah,
I do not have a choice.
What was the first thing y'all learned how to cook as a child?
This is gonna be a great steak.
Steak.
Really?
Because they had cheek steaks at the neighborhood Walmart, and I saw this Alton Brown thing about how to cook a 5-minute steak by like putting it between 2 pans. And so I was just like, I can make a gourmet meal in my own oven with 2 pans, and it was just sort of like, this is not how a good steak is made, but I was just like, wow, I'm just as good as like
Yeah, you were
Fogo
the
de Chao.
chef hat on and
Yeah.
everything. I don't know. I think the first thing I ever made was French toast, probably.
French toast.
Yeah, I remember like you learn how to soak the bread in that.
Yeah.
I was pretty good. I love French toast.
First thing I
toast is
learned how to
great.
make. First thing I was allowed to make
Yeah.
was hot dogs.
Oh yeah.
Like when I'm like 5 years old.
Yeah,
I was
you
able
threw it
to-
Is
in
that
there.
the origin of you being the Grill King?
Yeah, that
Yeah,
was
that's
where it
all
started.
started.
That's where it all started. On the stove, boiling water, hot
Did
dogs.
you know that
Boiling
Oscar
water.
Mayer Wieners has a popsicle flavored Oscar Mayer Wiener now?
Wait,
Crazy.
what? Like the hot dog is popsicle flavor, or the popsicle is hot dog flavored?
Popsicles hot dog flavor?
Yeah.
I don't know how.
That would be so gross, right?
Yeah.
I don't understand what kid would want to eat
Because it just tastes like hot dog water, and that's nasty.
Yeah, disgusting. Oh, that's probably what they freezing. Hot dog.
Yeah.
but that's a
There's like,
that's a
we're,
diss in the black
we're wasting too
community.
much substance. We got to do something with this.
Rochelle, what's the first thing you learned how to cook? And how old were you?
Pod CEO.
Patsy,
Ooh.
you? God
Can
damn.
you
That's
do that
good.
again, but in an Usher like voice?
Yeah.
Uh,
It's 7 o'clock. Wait, that's the noodle one with all the like the veggies in it and peanuts
that's my
and stuff
favorite.
like that?
That's my favorite Thai dish.
That's it has like Chinese broccoli and eggs and it's like
Yeah, it's the
brown.
flat
It's like,
noodle.
yeah, it's like
Flat
regular
noodle.
noodles.
How old were you when you learned to cook that?
I don't know, probably like 6.
Damn. Making Patsy you. I was boiling hot dogs. Putting ketchup on the bread. That's all I eat the hot dogs with. Ketchup and mayonnaise. That's my favorite toppings. If you want to know, everybody sound off in the DMs. What's your favorite hot dog toppings?
Please don't. They really be doing it.
That's great. Yeah,
do it.
It's
fine.
engagement. All engagement is great for Lamar to read. I
I always forget that if you
Uh-huh.
ask people to engage, they will, and then like years later, they'll just be like, "Why are you sending me this?"
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because some people are catching up. Some people
Yeah.
are on episode 1 right now.
To this day, I
Yeah.
get people from. There was an episode of Gilmore Girls where I was like, "No, I love seeing a dog in any police uniform. Send it to me. Don't give me any context. I'll be happy." And to this day, people do it, and I'm just like, I now know why it's happening because
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, I remember that I said
Cool.
that, but I don't want it anymore.
Actually, I'm sleeping. It's a little power here. Hey, send me your favorite rapper, audience. send me a picture of your favorite rapper.
Just a photo of your favorite rapper.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to see what kind of music. I want to see if the music that y'all listen
Everyone's
to lines
sending
up.
me photos.
If you send Macklemore, we're gonna block you.
Okay. Yeah.
Why is everybody sending us photos of Fat Joe?
Like Big Fat Joe style. You
I
hear
love
that
Fat
voice?
Joe.
Do you hear that damn voice? Everybody, turn your radios up right now. Do you hear that voice? We got the man, the myth, the legend in the house with us right now. He is a maniac. Maniac on the floor. And he's dancing like he's never danced before. He is the host of the podcast that was the predecessor to the fellas catching up on television.
Yeah.
Right here
Where
on
it all
Headgum,
started.
where it all started. Where we got the idea for this at.
Without them, there will be no us.
There would be no us without them. He is one half of the Gilmore Guys. He is currently developing shows. He
is currently in development hell.
He currently in development hell.
He's not
he
doing
used
shit.
to be the host of Punch Up the Jam right here on the Headgum Network. Everybody, shake
your love.
your asses for Demi Adejuyigbe.
Thank you so much.
I'm so
Hey,
excited.
This is the first
Shaking that
podcast
ass.
I've ever done with bells. I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna feel about this, but then it feels good.
This podcast has all bells, no whistles.
I love that.
Yeah, no whistles. We
too high
don't
register.
do whistles over
Don't
here.
do whistles.
Take that shit to Whistletown.
Yeah,
leave
take
that.
that to Whistle Pig, Whiskey Town. Listen up. We got Demi in the house today to talk Gossip Girl. Demi, what is
Yeah.
your history with Gossip Girl?
I have not seen a single episode aside from the
Oh
one we're talking
my
about today,
God.
which
Okay.
was stressful because I was like, I don't want to come in being like, oh, it's crazy that this happened. You'll be like, no, it's well justified by all this stuff and whatnot.
No, you say what you think is crazy because we probably think it's crazy as well.
Yeah.
This show is insane.
It is.
And this season is
wild.
starting off crazily.
And the good news is that we're in the beginning of the season, so hopefully it wasn't too jarring.
No, it wasn't. And the last time on Gossip Girl very much helped. And then I watched it with my girlfriend who was seeing the entire show and was just very
Careful
much
what you
like.
say too, because he hasn't seen anything.
I haven't
past
seen
it.
anything.
She didn't tell me anything past. It was just sort of me going like, who is this person? And then being like,
Gotcha.
okay, I've heard that name.
Yeah.
And
Now-
just knowing everyone's relation to each other.
Speaking of you watching this with your girlfriend and she's seen the whole thing, how did you get a girlfriend? What is the process that you went through?
Because we're
trying to find. A
So what you got to do is you go to Vegas and you spin the big wheel, and if it lands on green, then they open the door for you and they let you pick a prize. And
Wow.
a lot of people like to pick a stuffed animal, but I picked a girlfriend.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Wow.
You hear that, Lamar? We got to get to Vegas.
You got to get to Vegas.
All right,
Gas
I'll buy
up
a
the
flight
jet.
right now.
Gas up the jet, I'm driving.
I'll gas up the jet right now. But yeah, that sounds. I'll try it out, but sometimes,
I'm honestly shocked that you both don't have girlfriends.
Well,
man, so are we.
so are we.
We are
We had
emotionally
'em.
unavailable. I've experienced
that.
it.
That'll do it.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm so emotionally available. I can't even stand up straight.
And I can fix anything.
I think that's hot. I don't know why.
Together, me and Carl put together would be
the
a
perfect
good
man.
Here's a question: are you open to dating like? I don't want to say fans, but like people who like are like very aware of your work. Like if podcast listeners were to slide in your DMs, would you be like, okay, or would you be like, I don't know about that?
It depends.
Well,
Sure.
you know what's interesting? Because we would like Gossip Girl. That would be a first. We would all have that. We would have that in
Yeah.
common, I guess.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Interesting.
It depends. It depends on how much of a fan of my work. If it's work that I also like of myself,
Yes.
like, wait a minute, that was my worst project. Get out of here.
Yeah, they're a fan of all the things I hate about myself.
Yeah.
Totally.
Nah. But so you've never seen the show. You watched this episode for this episode.
Yes.
We thank you for being here.
Of course, happy to be
Yeah.
here.
We're happy to have you here.
happy
I'm a
to have
big
you.
fan.
I
I'm a
mean,
big fan. I
it's
think you're
mutual.
hilarious. I think
Thank
you're super
you.
dope and talented. So all the audience who's mad that he doesn't watch Gossip Girl, it don't matter.
It don't matter. He don't need to watch Gossip Girl
It's
because
the
we
homie.
watched it for him.
Do people get upset when a guest hasn't
Sometimes.
seen?
There have been times where people have been like, "Hey, stop having people on that don't watch the show."
That happened a lot with Gilmore Girls or with Gilmore Guys, and it does feel like I don't know which one is the original.
Gilmore Kids.
And I feel like at a certain point, it's like it makes sense when it's just like we have to explain everything to them, and then they're having to listen to all that. But it also does feel like it's sort of the balance of like there are some people who are listening to it because they're fans of Gossip Girl, and there are some people who listen to it because it's like I just like hanging out with my
Yeah.
friends for an
Yeah.
hour, which is like you guys,
Yeah.
and so it just feels like you kind of have to please both audiences. And sometimes when it's just like a guy who doesn't know what the thing is, it
Yeah.
sometimes sucks.
Yeah.
But it also is just like
It's fun for us.
Exactly.
It's fun for us to have guests who also don't watch the show, who we're friends with, because it helps us like get back to reality where
Totally.
it's like, oh yeah, this is not a reality where this is like a new reality where I'm watching this show about these white people.
It's a real balance. It's like you either got to have someone who like the chemistry is so good that it doesn't matter, or you got to have someone who like they know the show so well that they're pleasing that half of the audience.
Yeah.
But
And it's a good balance. And honestly, it's very low pressure on you. You don't have to say nothing this whole time. You can just sit here and be a face. Camera
like,
2.
oh, so crazy.
Camera 2's got you locked in.
Thank you so much.
And now let me ask you this about Gilmore Girls. Did you like that show before you started the pod?
I had never seen it.
Never seen it.
No.
That same way with me
it
and
was
this show.
it was a show that like every so often I'd come home from school and the show like the TV would just be on to the CW and
Yeah.
I'd just be like, oh, it's that show that my mom maybe watches, but it was just happening, but I'd never seen it. And
They talk too fast for me.
they even like having watched it, I'm just like everyone just needs to calm down. And like
Yeah.
watching this was just like it was a very much a time capsule. I think the episode that for Gossip Girl that we watched today was like after the Gilmore Girls had stopped airing, but it did feel like it's the same sort of period of television.
Yeah, yeah.
And so it was very funny to go back and just feel like, oh, I haven't seen TV like this in a while.
Yeah,
But-
it's really fast moving. A lot going on. It's hard to like focus. Feels like something's wrong with me.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, am I okay?
Now we're about the same age. Did you watch The OC?
Yes.
See,
Oh,
OC.
yeah.
Everybody.
I loved The
everybody
OC.
watched the
OC, me too. So
Yeah.
I was an OC person, but I never was gonna get into Gossip Girl. But then I watched Gossip Girl over the pandemic, so that's how I got into it.
Same creator, right? Josh Schwartz.
Savage,
Yeah.
Stephanie Savage.
We were talking about on the last episode. We were talking about how when they shoot in New York, you can see regular people standing around watch them shoot,
Oh yeah.
and I hate that. That would give me so much anxiety because even now when I'm shooting something and there's like people like watching, if we're like doing it in the neighborhood, I'm like, they're watching.
No,
Can we
yeah.
please get the cops over there?
It's very. That's when you're just like, hey, I like cops in this one scenario. Get them over there.
Get them over there. Yeah.
Yeah, I do think about that a lot whenever I see anything shooting on New York, where I'm just like, they have to like close down the streets, or they gotta like go to like the LA like New York street and then just like dress it up so much, and I'm like, neither of these is worth it. But it just feels so.
In this show, you see regular people standing around looking, and then you also see extras.
Yeah.
And they're doing things that people don't do in New York, like just congregate on the sidewalk and just kind of go.
Like,
I did see people
like no one ever stops and have a conversation in New York City. Everyone's on the move.
I did see people in the bookstore scene that I'm just like, you're not reading that book. They're just opening and going, like,
Yeah, they were killing that.
Yeah.
Oh,
That is curious to me though, because I feel like in New York, one big thing would just be like everyone's in such a rush that's like, who's gonna stop to be like, what are they shooting here? But I guess some people are just hanging out or like tourists or whatnot.
Hot dog man, like offering people hot dogs, the halal cart.
He's trying to get his SAG card by
trying to get a SAG
shouting
card.
back.
I wonder if they cast the real hot dog guys on the street, or do they recreate that?
They go do research
recreate
on them and go, watch how he steams the bun. Yes, I'm doing research.
Does it feel like real, like the city?
It feels real. Now, Demi, have you spotted anybody recently? Have you seen anybody in the wild? Have you? And it could truly be anybody.
I'm trying to think of if I got a good one.
Well, I have a user one while you think of one.
I went to a screening of a Allison Brie and Aubrey Plaza movie, and they were there. So
Tight?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Did you talk to him?
No, but I talked to Tim Heidecker and Dave Franco.
There you go. So, all right.
Yeah.
Tim Heidecker, Dave Franco. Spotted.
Damn, that was a good spotted.
Thank you. I wish I had
Coming in hot, Demi.
any juicy secrets to share about him.
Was that movie good? This is off.
I mean, I'll say it. I think it is messy, but I think also it is like I haven't laughed that much in a theater in a while, so I was like, what a good time. Even though the plot, I'm like, you need to end this different.
Interesting. In this.
Nowadays when I see a movie, even if it sucks, I'm just like, man, it's so hard to make a movie. What am I? I can't be too.
I be feeling bad for the filmmakers. I'd be like, man, they must have had a hard day that day.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm gonna let it slide.
Yeah, whatever.
All right, that's pretty good spotted.
You got user spot?
Yeah. How do you say that?
That is Rachel Xanadu.
Xanadu.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
Olivia Newton.
A little dark, but spotted. My lifelong best friend sent me a cameo from Zuzana Zadowatsky. Dorota. And she sent the video if y'all want to see it.
Yeah, let's see it.
Who's that?
Dorota is Blair's maid.
Rachel, congratulations on finally realizing your mom was a psycho. And
Oh yeah, she just got out of
Dale
therapy.
and I are proud of all the progress that you've made in therapy and with your new tailoring business, and you are looking super hot too. So,
Oh, that's nice.
That's
very
cool.
nice.
I can't tell. Have you ever got one of those? A cameo?
Yeah.
Do you like it, or is
I do
it
like
weird?
it. I do like it every time. So they would like on Flagrant Ones, my basketball podcast. They would like some listeners would send us basketball player cameos, and they would always be like, "Yo, what's good? It's your boy, the Don Dada, Charlie Villanueva. This goes out to Hayes, Sean, and Carl, and Andy, and stay flagrant." Like, you know, they like the listeners will send them like catchphrases.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. And then Lakers. It's always like, this person doesn't want to be doing this.
Interesting.
But then I got one. My good brothers, the Doughboys, sent me a cameo from one of my favorite YouTubers, Badlands Chugs.
Oh, they did him?
And he was
He's on it?
so genuine and nice in his cameo. It wasn't like the basketball player ones. The basketball player ones, you could feel
They
like
just do
"Man,
it."
I don't want to do this shit. But the Badlands Chug was like, "What's up, Carl? It's your boy, Badlands Chugs. I just want to say I'm proud of you.
Yeah.
I'm so happy for you. I'm going to watch your show. Grand Crew, Season 1, congratulations. I'm going to watch it. I'm going to be right in front of my TV. And this is for you." And
he did a chug too?
He chugged in the thing.
Y'all gotta check out Badlands Chugs. You know what this is?
I don't.
So Badlands Chugs his name is Eric Badlands Booker. He's a competitive eater, and he's on Badlands Chugs, his YouTube channel. He just chugs shit. Like he chugs a bunch of sodas, a bunch of salsa. I've seen him chug 2 liters
It's
of salsa.
disgusting. He makes us watch this shit all the time. I mean, look, he's a nice guy, but definitely not for me.
Yeah.
You like, you know this guy, Shelly Shell?
No, I don't know this guy.
He is a very delightful. He's
We'll watch it
delightful,
after.
but it's very uncomfortable.
He
to
makes
watch.
me understand ASMR because I don't get when people like.
What's
like
that?
I don't get like the sound. Like people like that shit. People like when like people be typing or clacking their nails against the biting the microphone and stuff. But his videos, because his voice is like he's like, hey, what's going on, y'all? He's like real nice guy, real jovial, and then he'll drink the soda or drink whatever he's drinking, the juice or whatever, and then at the end he just like let out a huge burp. But like it's gross, but you're like waiting for that. You're like, man, if you don't burp, I'm gonna be pissed.
Yeah.
And he's really dope. Like his shit is it's a fun set. So the cameo that I got from him, because he's such a nice guy. The cameo that I got from him definitely felt like, man, Badlands Chugs probably is really watching my show.
Yeah, like he probably was like honored. Like, so have you ever got one of those?
No, like not in a sincere way. It's always like, oh, we're doing a show and we're gonna get like a cameo from Ken Bone or something.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But we got one from Ruben Rabasa, who's the I think you should leave car focus test group guy, and it was like
He admitted.
Yeah, that guy. It was very nice, but I think I don't know, Cameo in general. I'm just sort of like, it feels like the tail end of the internet where I'm just like, we shouldn't have this much access to anybody.
Dude, man, I've been talking about that ad nauseum.
Yeah.
It's so weird. I mean, like, it's weird that the Rota is just available like that. But
Man, I refuse to get on there.
No, I would
do
never.
it for a fan. If a fan wanted us to do it, I'd do that. But you have to ask.
Careful what you ask for. So I've done it. I've sent a couple videos where it's like somebody like, hey, we've been listening to you on this and that. Like, just send an encouraging video. I refuse to do any characters. Like, you're not finna make me.
No.
So anytime they're like, hey man, can you send a video you doing Chief? I go, no. Like, yeah, absolutely not. I don't need your money. I don't want it. Like, I'll send it like out of being nice. But I'm not doing nothing exploitative.
Yeah. There's something about just like letting people request things of you that I just feel like, I understand it for money because it's like that's just work, but at a certain point I just feel like if you don't have to do it and there isn't a joy in it for you and it's just sort of like it's easy to make money this way, I'm just sort of like, yeah, but I think for me I'm just sort of like, I just don't like opening that like the floodgates to people and just being like, I'm allowing you to decide what I do. And I think I've stopped a lot of stuff because I'm just sort of like, oh, I don't think I like that interaction with people. I like to just sort of be like, I'm in this glass tower and I'll do something and you can see it, but you don't get to interact. Like, I'm gone as soon as it's done.
Yeah. The script part of it too, I don't like.
Oh,
don't tell me what. Well, they can tell you what to say.
Really?
Like, so if they pay, like, so if you charge, if I am to get on Cameo, my fee is gonna be very high. Like, I'm charging $5,000.
That's good money.
And then
What's in between Cameo and OnlyFans? Is that kind of the same thing?
Cameo and the difference between Cameo and OnlyFans, I don't think I can send a nude cameo. Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Carl Talk from XOXO Gospel King.
What's good?
Here's my motherfucking nuts.
Congratulations, the show.
Yeah.
I'm swinging.
I'm swinging out here.
I'm out here getting it in.
My meat is out because I'm watching your show. Congratulations on season 1.
What if your whole personality is being a guy who is like, could someone who's popular on OnlyFans then be like, and now you can request me saying stuff naked on Cameo?
Yeah. I would do it like for your wife or something.
For my wife.
Yeah.
All right, wife.
Here, I know how much you love Carl. Okay, my wife is probably gonna love Carl, right? It's like very likely that my wife will be a fan of Carl.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna be like, look what I got you.
Be crazy if she
Carl,
wasn't.
What's
though.
good, Mrs. Woods?
You guys got to work past that.
Yes, my wife.
My meat is out.
Mrs. Woods. Why's that sound weird? I guess she would be.
She would be Mrs. Woods.
I'll take her last name.
You take her last name? Lamar Woods Cabarro.
Cabaret for two, please.
I think you can hyphenate anything with Woods, and it's a good name. So
Yeah.
you don't lose if you do that.
Yeah, I might do that because Mrs. Woods sounds like my mom. Like I married my mom, kind of. I guess when you said Mrs. Woods right now, it made me think of my mom.
Mrs. Woods.
I just feel like I just was like, I have a second grade teacher or something, and I didn't have a teacher named Mrs. Woods, but it does sound like a teacher's name.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to
Mr.
call your
Woods.
wife by her first name.
Yeah, her first name is Jada.
Guys, let me just say, this is
Jada
great.
Pinkett Cabaret.
Cabaret.
Unrelated.
Don't you know?
Cabaret Fatunde. You marry somebody from French Polynesia. Guys, this is great. This is great. We're going to take a break early so we can go right through the episode. We'll be right back after these messages. I'm just playing. Okay, we're back. We're back. We're really, really black.
Did you go to school? You went to college?
I did.
Where'd you go?
I went to University of Texas in Austin.
UTA.
Ooh.
UTA, Austin, the main Texas.
Yeah.
That's the Longhorns.
That's a cool place.
How come?
That's a cool school.
Who was the quarterback
Yeah.
when you were there? Cole Brennan?
If you said in the name, I'd recognize it, but I couldn't pull it out of thin air. I went to maybe 2 football games my entire time.
That's the whole time?
Yeah. I'm not a big football person.
Would you go after on 6th Street, though?
Yeah.
That shit is
Oh,
fun.
it was wow.
Yeah, that was
Man.
fun, but I felt very out of my element. I think I'm introverted, but always trying to be like, if I'm just out, then maybe I'll meet my person and I'll have a great time. And it's always just like, you just get like sad and just sort of be like, why isn't the perfect night happening for me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Put too much pressure on
Man,
it.
that 6th Street is crazy, too. Last time I was at 6th Street, I saw a cop slap a guy. He was on a horse and just slapped a dude.
What?
Because they were like fighting. He was like, there was 2 guys fighting and the cop got in the middle of it
my
and then
God.
like slapped the hell out of one of them.
You can't.
It was crazy.
Slap.
Blew me away. It
That's
was
just
just like,
shocking
it
to
felt
me as
very Texas. It felt like
It's a Texas place.
it felt like very like it was like even the guy was like, okay.
Yeah.
It was like,
Cop on a
right,
horse, I'm
yeah.
just like, I don't know what. I feel like you see the cop on a horse, it's like, all right, just stop doing whatever you're doing. He's above you physically. He already just feels way too powerful.
Yeah,
I got to look up the history of 6th Street because 6th Street looks like the Old West.
It does kind of. It feels like just an open like every place on there. Every bar feels like a saloon, even though you get inside. Like it's very modern,
it's like the old
but
town. Yeah.
Last
interesting.
time I was there, we
I
went
knew.
down to that. There's like a sneaker store on the street, and we went to that store, did a little shopping. We was walking out, some like it's like a homeless area right around it. And this one guy was like, "Yo, man, can you just go in that store right there? He won't let me in. Can you just go in that store and just like give me something to drink? Like it's hot out here, and it was hot as hell. I was like, all right, man, what you want to drink? He was like, a Sprite. Let me get a Sprite. And then as I'm walking in, another dude's like, yo, man, let me get a Sprite too. And so I walk in, buy 2 Sprites. I give this one dude the Sprite, give the other dude the Sprite. Another guy's like, come on, man, I asked for that Sprite. I was like, well, y'all deal with that.
God.
And then that guy he started following us, and like I'm with Dan Lippert and Brett Morris, producer of the show. This is when we were there for Comedy Bang Bang, and we're walking, and you can tell that they're like uneasy with this guy. I'm like, this guy ain't finna do nothing. And he was like, hey man, all right, I'll do a flip off this car right now for $10. And we were like, no,
Yeah.
don't do a flip off that car, man. I
Yeah.
bought you a drink.
Got
Like,
your Sprite.
yeah,
It's not
just
Mountain Dew.
obey your thirst, baby. It's a weird place.
Yeah, Austin's got a homeless problem that is like on par with LA's,
Yeah.
and I do feel like it's worse there because I feel like the state actively is like, I would rather have them dead.
Yeah.
As opposed to here where they're passively just like, oh, can't they just die? But
Yeah.
Right.
Austin's also it's hot as hell.
It's hot.
Yeah.
It's hot.
Oh man.
Oh,
it's
man.
hot. But so are you? Where you grow up?
I grew up in Dallas.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
you stayed in.
Yeah, it was like the best school I could go to and not have to pay out of state tuition, but also still get to leave Dallas because I didn't like Dallas.
Interesting.
Dallas is an interesting city in Houston. I mean, in
know you're
Texas.
from Dallas.
I like Houston.
I'm from more specifically Plano, if you know it, just because
Yeah.
someone
Yeah,
out
I
there
know
will be like,
Plano,
he's not from
Texas.
Dallas.
Yeah, Plano.
I don't
Plano.
know.
What up? Hey, put your P's up for Plano.
I like Houston. That's
Yeah,
my
no,
Texas
Houston's
place.
great. I think Houston and Austin are great, and Dallas is just so like nothing.
Yeah, that's what I hear.
It's really just so boring. But
Fascinating.
Well,
I want to get to know you better.
That's what I'm here for.
You went to college. You had a move-in day.
That I did.
This is the move-in day for everybody on this.
Everybody moving in.
Everybody's
You have roommates
moving in.
too?
I did, yeah.
You had a cool room. Are you still friends with your roommate?
Nope. It was like a random roommate my first year, and then like I feel like halfway through the semester he just stopped being there, and I was like, okay. But then I lived with a friend for the next few years. So
Tight.
That's tight. Man, Dan, did you notice, was Dan living at the loft or was he living in the dorms?
I'm not sure.
Because I was like, that's tight. If, like, to have your own loft
He
like
might be
that.
commuting.
Yeah, because I was like, Dan's got it made right now.
Dan
He
might be
got the
commuting.
waffles. He was making it. He made the broke waffles. That was
Man.
that was a real cool imagery of like,
Right.
I'm a man now.
I'm still a Humphrey man.
Yeah.
We get our waffle on.
Yeah.
But these ain't the same. This shit was hard too.
is Dan? I know which one Dan is, but Dan's backstory, like job wise, is he not going to college or is he?
He is going.
Right, because I know he was
But
partying.
there was
with
like the
everybody.
backstory
Yeah.
for him is that there was a big hullabaloo about his college thing because he got into Yale, but got denied for financial aid. We talked about this on an episode because it was kind of like, wait, is this some
It was like kinda
propaganda
racist,
shit?
yeah.
It was kind of like it almost felt like they was like
apparently
talking
we're
shit
too
about
rich
like.
to go to
Yeah, just like if only you were black, you could get a handout and go to college.
it
It's just
kinda
like,
felt
yeah, it's like,
that.
ugh,
Yeah,
God.
yeah.
It was like it
was
kind of felt like
weird.
it was like anti-affirmative action or something,
Yeah.
something like shit like that. Where it's like, hey man, y'all live in a loft
Doing
in
great.
Brooklyn. You're doing
Right,
fine with
yeah.
like 3 bedrooms.
They
So,
can't present anything as like the problems of being rich when the entire thing of the show seems to be like they're rich. That's the baseline. Now
but
let's see
these
what else.
people are the Humphreys are the poor family out within the rich.
Okay,
Yeah,
that sucks.
Yeah.
I for some reason I just the way he was dressed versus everyone else, I was like, oh, maybe he's like the one working class kid here, but it's like no, he's just relatively poor.
No, relatively poor.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
not
New
like
York-
a Ryan
he's New
Atwood
York
type
loft
dude.
poor.
Yeah.
He just doesn't have as much money as those. The other people on the show are Trumps and Hiltons and
They're
stuff
just
like
like
that.
you have 7 zeros instead of 8.
Yeah. And
I
he
hate
lives in
that.
Brooklyn. It's gross there.
I think
Yeah.
Rufus definitely. If I had to get, if I was in Rufus's pockets, like if you was in Rufus's pockets, Rochelle, how much money you think Rufus got? If you in his, get in his pockets real quick.
I would think at least $1 million.
You think he got $1 million?
I think
Like
so.
before
He invested
we talking about
$40,000
before he married Lily, right?
Before he married Lily, yeah. He invested $40,000 in Jorn Vandersloot. Not Jorn Vandersloot. What's his name? Gabe. Who he playing?
Oh wait,
Social Network?
you talking about Gabriel? Yeah.
Winklevoss.
The Army Hammer character.
Army Hammer. Yeah.
So he gave him
invested
40,000.
He gave him 40,000, and that like fucked
But
up.
that's off of his selling the gallery, right?
Yeah.
And that
So,
fucked up his life. Like it was just like, oh no, you spent too much money.
like that was his. He was gonna pay the homies tuition.
He
for
invested. He was hoping to double his 40K, get more money because the guys were like, if you invest in this, it's guaranteed to do this, and they like the investment.
That. Yeah, I think
he ended up
the
trying to be a
show's probably
fraud.
right, but he probably got a cool million
Cool
in the
million.
bank.
Yeah, because Dan was denied any financial aid, so
Yeah.
he had to have Rufus had to have money.
Yeah,
Is that how that works?
yeah.
How does that shit work?
You got student loans?
No.
I got student, because I get confused, because financial aid is different from student loans. Like, I got loans, like, I didn't know if I got aid and loans.
He said what's Biden saying right now? Pell grants? I'm like, but it's a grant. I thought we didn't have to pay grants
know.
back.
Yeah,
Nah.
I don't understand how all the loan stuff
We
that's
need to
happening
figure this
right
out
now
right now.
works, honestly.
Because I, need
think-
to clear mine up.
I think his thing, what Biden's doing is like, because I have got loans, I still owe them motherfuckers. Ooh, they gonna find me. They found me. But my loans, there's loans that are private.
Yeah.
So like I have loans to like a Sally Mae, right? Or this one company.
Navient.
That one. So Navient, check this out. That's a private company that I owe. I also borrowed money to on top of the loans from the government.
Yeah.
Biden's gonna try to wipe out the government one, the ones he could control.
Oh, not Navient.
Yeah,
so
like
we still got to pay them.
Navient, though,
Oh, right, 'cause
check
they're
this
private,
out
you
about
can't,
Navient. So I got a thing in the mail because the Attorney General in Georgia went after them because they was doing predatory practices.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
they gave me $200, a check, because they split the settlement
Yeah.
of everyone who ever got it. So I might not have to pay that
I got
back.
that too.
You got that check?
Yeah.
Why you tell me?
$200 seems.
I don't have as much.
Why you
I
don't
don't
tell
have
me
as
about
much
that?
because I think it just like went to my balance or something. I don't know.
No,
I
you don't
don't have
to.
that many student loans. I just don't feel like paying them. They found me.
I'm sure this is what everyone tuned into.
Yeah. We.
I just want to hear about the rich
I can
people.
talk about this all day.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Don't turn it off. We're gonna get to the show right now. Everybody's packing for college. Serena gets a text from her mom saying, "I'm so proud of you," and she's got a weird look on her face. Oh, poor Serena, about to do some more stupid shit.
Yeah, I'm so sick of her. This is the episode where I was like, Serena,
Man, let me tell you
she
something.
could get taken off the show. I was like, take her off.
Get out of
Take
here.
her off the show.
Yeah.
I was surprised at how little of this episode she's in. Like, she doesn't feel like the focus because I feel like I've always thought, oh, she's the main character, right? And also, her name is crazy. I think it's crazy that every episode. Vander Woodson?
Woodson, yeah.
Yeah, that's not. You can't make up a name like that for a person and then just be like. You have to explain the etymology of this every episode. I think. You gotta be like, so her family's Dutch.
What is the history?
It was this, but they
tree of
changed
this
it over
thing?
here.
Yeah.
Like I just.
They kind of get into
what
it.
ethnicity is that?
It's
German?
Dutch. Vander.
German.
Whenever you see Van, that's Dutch. When you see Bond, that's German.
It means Van of the Wooten.
Yeah, Van of the Woodson. Of the Vander is of the. So basically, Serena of the Woodson family.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's always so funny to me how much of like just like every language has its own version of that where it's like there are popular names and it really just means they're from this person.
Yeah, like Johnson is John's son.
Yeah.
Is it for real?
Yeah, Jackson is Jack's son.
This episode made me not. I used to be so jealous of NYU. Episode made me be like, I'm glad I didn't get in that school.
Yeah, NYU seems whack. I didn't think about it.
The dorms are ugly as hell. I was just like,
Yeah.
this is a set that you built after a dorm and it looks so bad that I
Yeah.
truly am just like this. I wouldn't
Like
want to
they
go
made
here.
it look so lame. Yeah.
You went to UT. The campus itself with the dorm stuff is kind of like outside of the city a little bit, just a little bit. It's not too crazy far.
Yeah.
But like, when I think of NYU and I think of going to college, like getting a college experience, just right in the middle of the city. Like last time I was there for Everything's Trash, I was staying near that area, and I'm just like, these are college dorms. Like in Boston too, when you walk past like Emerson College, it's like right there in the city. Like this shit is crazy. Like that would feel so dangerous.
I just seen your kid.
I think something about it seems so exciting to me. Like I'm sure it is exciting for kids to go there and dangerous for the parents who let their kids go there. But I think just like I think even UT being as like close as it was, I was just like I feel like I'm in a city and I'm living and I can walk everywhere and I'm amongst the like people don't know that I'm a kid and it's like no, everyone knows you're a kid but you feel like no one does and I think like in New York it's probably accentuated because no one cares that you're a kid. They're just like get the fuck out of my way or whatever.
Yeah, like when I'm in New York, we're like on the train with students, but you just don't know. Like I'm like, you guys could be an NYC student. I wouldn't even know. You're just like here. But that's a cool college. I mean, a lot of people that I know from NYU are cool.
Yeah, people.
But in the show, they seem so lame to me. That scene where it was Vanessa, Dan, and Blair walking up. It was like, ugh.
Yeah,
This looked like a lame school.
We don't know. We don't know each other here. We don't.
Yeah.
Oh, but we gotta. Let me see. We gotta go in order. But I'm gonna breeze through this shit because we're already almost an hour into the show. We still on the first scene. So Chuck don't like the idea of Blair going to college for some reason. I think he.
No, he don't like that she's going to a dorm.
Yeah,
She's staying in a dorm room.
God, I hate Chuck so fucking much.
He sucks.
His
Chuck sucks.
Like I knew going into it, I was like, oh, this guy's a creep in real life. But then in the show, it's just like, why does he like? It looks like he watched enough of American Psycho to be like, this guy's cool, and then not the rest.
Yeah.
And it just feels like he also just has this face the entire time where he's just sort of like talking like this, and I'm just like, shut the fuck up. Every time he talks, I'm just like, open your eyes, shut the fuck up. Wear a normal shirt instead of suspenders.
It's so weird. Like,
You look like fucking Gordon Gecko.
I said that exact same reference.
God damn.
Gordon Gecko or like American Psycho dude. He's I think it's a British dude doing an American accent.
Oh.
yeah, like that's.
And he's got a squint to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, now I can't because I didn't know he was British when I first saw it, but I seen him talk. Now when I see him act, I'm like, oh, this is his impression of an American.
So funny.
But yeah, but he don't want Blair to go to dorms because he thinks it's beneath. Like she's rich, he should just live at home.
Are the richness of these characters, are we supposed to be sympathetic when he says that? Because I feel like I'm watching this and I'm just like, all right, so that guy sucks. But then my girlfriend who's seen the entire show is like, no, I think you're kind of supposed to like he sucks, but he also is like, he cares about these people. I'm like, I feel like him saying the dorms are beneath you, I'd be like, no.
The version you're seeing of Chuck is probably the best version of him.
Really?
Like
He's growing up a bit.
Like he's
Really?
actually, like The fact
And
that
this is where he landed.
The fact that, well, hey, look, you know,
He was awful
can't
before.
change.
It's
But
a
he's
slow
like,
arc.
He's basically like the fact that he's even in a relationship with Blair is like a huge deal because they were. He couldn't even. He's like a real like Lothario, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could tell from him talking about how like he was in a brothel in Amsterdam, and then also said something about by the time he gets 21. I'm like, wait, how old are you? That you were
18.
He's 18.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
They just graduated high school 3 months ago.
Right. God damn.
Yeah.
Is he going to college too? Also, is
No,
that
he's not
He's
going to college.
Gordon Gecko.
He's
right?
Gordon Gecko.
Yeah, he's trying to build a sex club in the basement of some bank.
Yeah.
Actually, this was like pissing me off. The Serena thing, but she was fucking his meat.
Dude, man, we gonna get to it.
That was crazy. Yeah.
We gonna get to that.
Let's just talk about it.
Yeah, we gonna talk.
What we missing?
Should we not? So let me just hit some bullet points
Okay.
of this, just so we can. I'll run through this real quick, and then we can just talk about
Okay,
it.
'cause yeah, I wanna talk about
We'll
the
do
other
that. So they everybody's going to NYU. Dan is being awkward with Vanessa. They haven't talked in a while. Serena's being awkward. You can clearly see that she's about to pull some of her bullshit.
Yeah.
But
She's
Rufus is
on
like,
one.
I'm proud of you. Your mother's real proud of you. I'm proud of you too. And she's like, I don't care. I'm a piece of shit.
Yeah.
And so
I feel like she's getting taller.
yeah, she's
Every
6'11".
episode, I'm like, how did she get so tall?
Dan walks up, Vanessa kissing Scott. It's like, awkward, like, oh, so y'all like really dating now?
Yeah.
Dan, it's like, Dan, why do you care so much about who everybody else is dating?
I know.
So did Dan date Vanessa?
No, they just like,
they like best
there was
friends
like, it was
now.
like a will they won't they when she first showed back up. But when she first showed back up, he was finally raising the social ranks at school because he was the poor guy, you know, and so he was like starting to date Serena at that point, and she was like, "Wow, you're dating the cool, hot, rich girl at school. You've changed, Dan." And she was like climbing through his window in the morning, and she's like, "Why don't you go to school?" And they were like 16.
She's from the street. She came out the mud.
Yeah,
Vanessa.
she
So
got out the
hates
mud.
on everybody.
Sure.
Yeah. And so, you know, Blair putting her new roommates through the ringer, and everybody's like, man, what the fuck? Now, this was fun. I just want to say, this made me laugh. Regina George pulled up, and that's Harriet the Spy.
Yes.
And she pulls up, and Gospel Girl goes, rah, rah, sis boom, bah. Georgina's pulled a coup d'etat. And that shit had me rolling.
Yeah,
Drew,
that
I was
funny.
like, is every episode like this? Is it
Yeah.
always just Kristen Bell being like, dun dun dun
It
dun
was
dun?
dope. I was like, oh shit.
But
Georgina.
rah, rah, sis boom, bah is hilarious to me. So y'all know what that is?
It's like a cheerleader
It's a
chant, right?
cheerleading
Yeah.
chant, but from like the 40s.
Yeah.
Like, so like when they used to wear like sweaters and long ass skirts, they go rah rah sis boom ba.
I like Ike.
Sis boom ba.
That's great.
So Regina getting on Blair nerves.
Yeah.
'Cause she like you ain't finna be what you thought you was
Yeah,
finna
no,
be.
this is my
here.
town. I'm queen.
Yeah.
but
So
no.
also, okay, the before on Gossip Girl starts with it feeling like a dramatic thing of Georgina being like, I want Blair Waldorf as my roommate, and I'm like, so is this a scheme that she's put on, or is she like obsessed with
she's
Blair?
crazy.
She's crazy.
Georgina's a psycho.
Okay, but is it just like there was a thing of like she's religious, and like is that the psycho? Is it just like? Because I'm like that doesn't
so
track.
confusing for you.
Yeah, I assume
There's
she's
so many like Georgina like side stories that
right.
are clashing in this one episode.
I don't want to piss off the audience,
They
so we
finna
don't
be
have to.
mad too.
We don't have to get into it. I'll just
Man, if you don't know who Georgina is, well, keep your mouth shut.
I'll just believe that she's
That's
crazy.
Goddamn question about Georgina, my favorite goddamn character.
If I was just like, okay, wait, who's Blair?
They finna be mad.
No, okay, but so she requests Blair as a roommate, and Blair is like giving an orientation to the other students and like giving them gift bags, which also just felt like a psychotic thing. Like, okay, so we don't like this woman. She's
It's insane. The whole thing is insane behavior, but also insane in the context of what we're watching too.
Okay.
Because
I'm just
because
making sure that it's
Blair
supposed
thinks
to.
she's gonna be cool because she's doing this.
Yeah,
But
she ran the high school for
Yeah.
for a while, and so now she coming to college being like, so I'm about to run this shit too. And the
Yeah.
girls are like, bro, who the fuck?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they don't give a fuck about you.
you know, like sushi.
Yeah. Oh man,
That
the
scene pissed
sushi
me off
party.
though, because I was like, damn, that party looked tight.
It looked tight.
And nobody was there.
It looked boring, but it looked like okay, you're gonna get a lot of free stuff here. And I was I know we're like trying to go chronological, but like the montage of them making the sushi, I was like, we don't need this, but I guess it's just like you got to see that they're making like real good sushi,
Yeah.
and it's only this one
Totally.
person wants it. And I was just sort of like. Cut your losses. Like
yeah.
you shouldn't. If it didn't work the first time you spent a lot of money to do something, don't be like the trick is I just have to try again.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
I guess it doesn't mean anything if she loses
She
money.
tells the one girl who showed up, lay off the Toro. I was like,
Yeah.
you got to stop being a bitch.
I know,
And
like,
it's-
it-
She's learning no lessons.
Yeah, that was a crazy thing to say to her. Yeah, just like fat shame.
Also, you're not putting on no weight eating fish.
Yeah, right. What the fuck? First of all, Toro
Was it a lay off the fish, like a you're gonna gain weight, or was it like a there's a limited amount thing? Because I couldn't tell.
Oh, maybe.
Right, she was like, you're gonna get mercury poisoning.
No, I mean, no one Blair.
I'm worried about you.
No one Blair. I think she's probably like fat shaming her.
Yeah,
that felt right
I could see that too because Toro is like the fancy one. That's I love sushi, so I was really excited. I was like, why are you eating pizza? You can get the sushi over here. What the hell y'all doing in this dorm room?
Like, nobody wants greasy pizza. It's like, bitch, we already ate the pizza. What are you talking
Yeah.
about? Shut up,
And
Blair.
Georgina popped in like, woo.
That one student who's like, close the door behind you. I was like, why do you care?
Yeah. That made me laugh.
I was
So I
clapping.
get that.
That's what I'm thinking.
But yeah, I was like, who the fuck is that? She turned around like, close that door.
I was like,
Yeah.
someone needed their SAG card. I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
say the door line.
Yeah.
She's like, I ain't never. She probably went to classes too. Like, I never liked
the second
Blair.
AD. Like,
Yeah.
I could do the line.
It's like, okay, take 5. Close the door. It's like, no, just
Cannons to the left, doors to the closed. But yeah, I was loving seeing Blair like this. Oh man,
It was
I
great.
Like, get
She
her,
was getting
get
her
her.
ass
Even though
ate
that's my
up.
girl, but I need her to get.
She needs
That's
to
your
be
girl?
humble.
Is she usually, she's
No, I love
likable?
Blair.
Okay.
No, she's not likable, but I like her.
Okay, all right.
She needs to be humble.
It's supposed to
Like,
be
yes.
okay. Between the way you're supposed to do it is like the Serena and Blair. It's like Ryan and Seth. You know,
Yes.
depending on who you like, tells a lot about who you are.
Okay.
So, who do you like, Serena or Blair?
I'd be more of a
both of them are
Serena,
terrible.
but
Yeah.
I mean, that's just going off this episode. It's like I like a fuck up when it's not. A fuck up is more enjoyable than like a rich kid who's just like, why isn't everyone liking me? Because I'm just like, this fuck up's clearly going through something. I don't have enough
Alright, alright.
context.
heard
I got
enough,
news for
Demi.
you, Demi. That fuck up is exactly what you just said. A rich kid who's like, why doesn't everybody like me?
Yeah.
I'm only seeing this episode, so I can't. I don't know what to tell
That's
you.
totally fine. That's
Yeah.
totally fine. Listen, I just want
Serena's
to
the
go back
enemy.
and hit. We can go A story, B story, C story.
Okay.
So let's talk about the. I guess it was the C story of Serena and Chuck.
It did feel like
yeah, that was
the
probably
thing. I was like,
C-story,
I don't
yeah.
care about this.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
this shit was pissing me
So
off.
it was pissing
though.
me off. So Serena is fucking up right now. She's being annoying. One thing about her throughout this whole series that she, she is avoiding accountability like it's COVID.
Yeah.
Like she would not catch it in a small unventilated room full of
Yeah.
unvaccinated
She
people.
was like,
She would like
dodging that
she
shit.
does not. She will not do accountability. It's always somebody else, and she's always. We talked about this on the last episode. Was like me personally. I hate a personality of a person that's like, well, I'm gonna make the mistake, but I'm also gonna double down on it.
Yeah.
Like she's a double down queen.
That's a very rich person thing.
Yes.
So I get that.
And so she's like, she's not going to college, and so she's hiding out. So she goes immediately to Chuck and is like, I need to stay here for a couple days. And he's like, cool,
Yeah, no way.
you can stay here, no problem. I just need you to be out tonight because I have a business meeting. And she's
Right.
like, oh, Chuck, I don't care about your dealer. He's like, it's not that. And he gives her this whole plan about the
Look at
the
this. There's a
speakeasy.
giant
Right.
vault. It's gonna be like prohibition.
Yeah.
Isn't
Yeah,
that
yeah,
fun?
It's never. It's full of
But it's
debauchery
like
and things.
this is a like in the context of the show. This is like a good thing.
It's a good
for
thing for
this
Chuck.
character.
Yeah,
he's trying to get his life together.
I do love. It's like in any show where they like sort of tell you like, oh, she's a good comedian, and then you see the comic, and you're like, no, she's not.
Yeah.
Where it's just like she was like, Chuck, this is such a good idea, and we see the blueprints. I'm like, this is a terrible idea.
Yeah.
It's like a ride at
First of all, it's
Disneyland.
a fire hazard. Like, how we gonna get out
Oh
of here?
yeah.
In a vault? You gonna be
Yeah.
having everybody fucking in a vault? Man, an old bank
Yeah,
vault? Like,
no, he's close proximity.
yeah. Everybody stuck in there.
He's
There's
like,
no
Stop
air.
telling him about the vault.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get this money
So
over here.
anyway, we'll stay on this story just to breeze through it. But like, she comes home when he's having the meeting. She come home loud. I'm sorry, my heel broke. And then Chuck is like,
Super annoying.
get out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then she's like,
I told you not to
"Hi."
come. Yeah.
It's like, why you shouldn't. If I walk in, if I have to be there, if you tell me like, hey man, I'm having some people overnight. It's an important meeting, so either stay out or if you got to come home, like just be quiet.
Yeah, I'm not engaging with whoever's.
Yeah, don't. I'm not engaging.
Right.
Going straight to my. I might do a wave and then keep it
Yeah,
pushing.
yeah.
Like going to my room or whatever. So she goes and engages with this guy, and then she's like, "Oh, and what about the secret sex room vault?" And
Yeah.
and he's like, "What
yo,
the fuck?" Like,
yo, my G.
Yeah,
my man,
my
stop.
man.
What you doing?
that's
yo?
my man right there.
Yeah.
I thought it was funny though because I was like, that seems like an easy save. It's like that's not what it is, and he'd be like, okay. But it did feel like immediately like she was like, I think it's so great to have a club, and he was like, what?
Yeah, a club.
What?
Well,
I thought this was a gentleman's lounge.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ugh.
Yeah, that was annoying. And then when Chuck calls her out for it, she's like, "Chuck, it was an honest mistake."
Yeah,
Like,
that's,
like,
that's
like,
the shit
bro,
we
you
talking about.
fucked up.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, just be like, I'm sorry.
absolutely,
All you
just-
gotta do is
yeah.
say, I'm sorry.
Crazy.
I shouldn't have done that. You told me, first of all, you got the kindness of your heart, let me stay here.
Yeah.
Then, you told me not to come during the meeting. It's like, you know what you're doing.
You know
wrong.
what you're doing. Like,
yeah.
you weren't supposed to be here. You can't
Yeah.
keep, like, it was an honest mistake. I made a mistake. That's what murderers say when they stab people.
Yeah.
They go,
Is
"It was a-" like, yes, that's what they all say. Every time somebody kills somebody.
Ah,
Jeez.
jeez. Oh, nuts.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh God, I didn't mean to.
Have we talked about the term crime of passion? Do you believe that's real?
Oh,
Do you
like
believe that you
something
should
that
get-
someone does in the. No, you shouldn't get like
Like,
lesser
less time?
sentence. Like,
Yeah.
hey
Wait,
man,
is that what it is, though? I didn't realize you can get lesser time.
You
I
can
didn't
claim
realize that
crime.
was like an argument.
I
Like
think so. If you
That-
claim crime of passion, you think
Oh.
I think that's crazy. It's just like the difference between it being premeditated, where it's like,
yeah.
oh, you should go to jail longer because you planned it, and that makes
Yeah.
you a danger, as
Like,
opposed to
if
something
you-
that's like,
if you
I didn't.
caught a guy cheating, if you caught your wife cheating with another guy and you killed him,
No, that's still a
You
thing
still
where it's
can't
like
go to jail,
still
bro.
go to, but
Maybe
the
not as
crime of
long.
passion, I guess, is no. I think that's what it is, like a crime of passion,
Yeah.
where it's like, oh, it was happening in the heat of the
it
moment, or
feels like
like,
the one time. Let's say he's outside of this one moment. You would, and I think you probably have to prove this person is not violent outside of this one.
yeah,
Well, Chuck was pissed at Serena, and he was mad as hell.
It was a crime
and
of
then as
passion.
she was like, "Ugh." Of course, she didn't take responsibility for it, and she kind of stormed out. And he kicked her out. He was like, "Get your ass out of here!" And then he goes, "Ugh, train wreck."
Oh yeah, that's
oh
what's
yeah,
so
and she's
funny.
that's what hurts
He
her
said
so
it was-
bad.
Yeah.
That shot was perfect too. He was like,
I think like you hear like the dramatic moment, music, she turns and she's just like, it almost felt like, oh, has there been a moment in the show where like someone really hurt her by calling her a train wreck or something?
Yeah. Nobody
No,
calls
this was
me a
the first
train wreck.
time. I feel like the first time someone's just said like called her out.
Oh.
'Cause I've never seen anybody call Serena out like that.
No,
not in
it's
a
the first
real.
time.
It also
mean
just
way.
felt to me, I was like, yeah, but he's already said like this sucks and like all these things, but just putting it in another way, and she's like, what? You me? Oh, okay. Then
I'ma
it's
get your ass
I'm
back.
like, don't.
Yeah.
That's
Now
proving
I'm
him
the
right.
victim here.
Yeah.
And so then she goes on. She calls back Carter. She goes to Dan's house first, and Dan is like, "Yo, talk to
talk
Rufus about this
Big
shit.
Roof got good advice.
Like he got great advice.
got
He's a
good
great
waffles,
fatherly
good
advice.
bolognese.
Yeah, go talk to him." So she goes over to Rufus's house, and Chuck walks out, and
yeah, he got a
he got
suspended.
his suspenders
Fucking
on. and
looks
he's
like
"I was
Bugsy
just-
Malone."
I was just catching up with Rufus here.
Chuck just snitched like a mother.
Thanks for
He's
the
like,
waffles.
Yeah.
They known for their waffles. Rufus known for his waffles. That's why it was a little Easter egg that Dan made her waffles, but they were
got
just
it.
Eggos. Like Rufus got like a waffle iron. He be killing the
Yeah, he be
waffles.
killing
Okay.
it. He's a
That's
he's
how
a, he's a
he
great
got
father.
with Serena's mom,
that's how he
probably.
got with Serena's mom. He put the waffles on her.
Well, there's your secret, guys.
Yeah,
you gotta
that's what
start
we
making
gotta
waffles
do.
for
Ladies.
women.
Hit me up if you
Alright.
like waffles.
Yeah,
I
I
do
do need
have
to
a
get
nice
one. Do
ass
you have
waffle
one?
iron. Yeah, I got a nice waffle iron. I like my waffles flat, Roscoe style, square.
Yes.
Interesting.
Uh,
Where you get
crispy.
Send me a reco for that.
all right. I think
I'd love to try that. How long did it take you to make it?
Bed Bath & Beyond waffles.
Yeah.
it takes like 7 minutes.
That's
Ooh, any quick, ladies? You hearing this?
I make you
man,
8 waffles.
they call him the
in an hour.
7-minute man.
The 7-minute man. Oh, I don't want, I don't need, I can't stand the 7-minute man.
I wanted to see that scene though with Chuck and Rufus though.
Yeah,
what
yeah.
was that like?
Eating waffles. But so Chuck. So basically now Serena knows that he told
Yeah.
that she didn't go to college. She was supposed to be at college. She'd been lying. She'd been hiding out.
Yeah.
So now she knows, and then of course this sends her over the edge because Rufus also is like he's her stepfather, but he's like getting her ass like, no, you ain't finna do like what the fuck, like,
Yeah.
your mom thinks
Yeah.
you hear that, and then she goes, you're more scared of my mom than I am.
Yeah, I'll
It's
tell her.
like, ugh.
Yeah, I was like, yo, stop
Tell her
bucking on Roof like that.
Yeah. She
Even
just-
though it was kind of like, man, you ain't her daddy.
Yeah, it's a little bit of like, why are you doing this at all?
He's in a weird spot because the mom's not around. But it's, I don't know. It was just weird.
Where
I
is
was like,
she?
She's away with her. Her mother is sick, and so she's away
Yeah.
tending to her mom. Her mom, I think she's on
It
her
was
last
just, I've
days.
just never seen Rufus. It was like, when did I have I ever seen Rufus and Serena in a scene together alone?
Yeah,
It
yeah,
was,
I know.
like, weird.
This is probably the first episode where they've both been in the scene together, like by themselves.
Getting a text from her mom felt like it's like, oh, they couldn't get her mom from the episode, so but they still had to be like, how does she feel? And I was like, maybe she's not in this season anymore. It's just gonna be all text.
Yeah,
she'll
she's
be
doing
there.
something. Maybe she booked something. I don't know.
But also, what's Serena's plan? Like to be like, I'm not actually going to college. Like, how long is she gonna ride that out?
Yeah, she didn't have one, but I'm like, you had a whole summer but she was away gallivanting in Europe the whole summer.
Oh.
Trying to find her daddy.
Her daddy, yeah.
And so
that's what's really going on.
Yeah.
Like, she's basically like
She's acting out because she doesn't have a father.
Her father, she kind of, on the other episode, she went to go find him, but her dad doesn't want to see her.
Yeah.
So I think now she's like feeling the rejection. And she's being a real Nancy Poo about it.
So that happens. She goes off on him, and then the only person she can call is Carter Bazin. So she calls Carter Bazin, and I know you don't know who Carter Bazin is. I still don't quite get who he is, because he just be popping in and out, and then like he'll go away for like the whole season. And then just come back in, and they make it so important that he's coming back, but then he never, like, it's always anticlimactic. So I'm like, why is he here? But that's Sebastian Stan's character, and so she plans a date with him. They go to the thing. And he's like, oh, wow, here's Chuck. He don't get along with Chuck. He don't like Chuck. They both similar type guys.
Oh, really? Because he dresses normal for a 2007 teenager.
Yeah.
But
he's a little older, though.
He's a little older than them.
He's like 22.
So he...
he's hanging out with all these college freshmen.
They there, and then Serena decides to go up and ruin another meeting for Chuck. Like, clearly saying he's doing a business meeting.
That pissed me off.
That one was active also, and I was just like, what...
Sorry, go ahead.
No, it was just, and that one wasn't active, like, I'm trying to fuck this up, which just felt so, like, why?
Yeah. It was totally unnecessary.
Yeah.
It was like, why are you doing you doing this because he called you a train wreck after you fucked up his other meeting?
I know, you're proving him right. And it's just like, if you could get him back if you want, but don't fuck his money up.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy.
Now, here's what I want to ask you, Lamar.
Uh-oh.
A writing question.
Uh-huh.
Do you think that the writers, when they're writing her, we kind of talked about this last night, do you think the writers, when they're writing her, are making her out to be this, like, don't take accountability, like, asshole? They're doing this on purpose, right?
Yeah. I think that's the character that we all love. We love to hate. You know what I mean? Like, if they heard us talking shit about Serena, they wouldn't be like, how come they don't like our main character?
Yeah.
They would be like, it's working.
Yeah, okay.
You know what I mean?
All right, because she sucks.
It's like Larry David. It's like someone complaining about, like, man, I can't believe how nitpicky Larry David is. Like, that is his character.
Okay,
I always wonder with stuff like that, because, like, to compare to Gilmore Girls, there is, like, the main character, Rory, I feel like the fans have sort of turned a corner and are just sort of like, she sucks and is, like, selfish and, like, annoying. But I'm like, there's no way the writers are writing her that way. It just feels like you're supposed to root for her through so much.
Right.
And I just feel like, I don't know, like, having a character that you want, at least on, like, a show, like, with this kind of audience, having them be, like, unlikable feels like such a new thing to me.
Oh, yeah. Well, here's what I'll say. Because I think, yes and no. Because I think you watch OC. Because they're obviously, we probably hate her slightly more because it's 2022.
Yes.
And and we know what white privilege is.
Yeah.
Or, like, the world knows what white privilege is. But I do think this show specifically, because when you go watch OC, like, Seth to me was a character I liked when I was a kid, but that character, I don't like that guy. Like, when I watch it now, he's like a guy I wouldn't like.
Totally.
In this context of our world now. But I think they made that choice, which is why I think people like the people who do like Gossip Girl more than OC is because they made this show. I think this show is like kind of the beginning of that kind of show. Like,
Got it.
I like her because Blair too. Both of them are unlikable. Like, and Blair is definitely unlikable. Like clearly unlikable.
Yeah.
But I think, she's my favorite character. And it's not because Serena's so unlikable. You know what I mean? It's because I rather like this unlikable version.
Totally. Yeah. I think they create scales where it's like they just sort of have this blanket of like, it's this world of rich people, and you kind of go like, okay, I don't feel... It's like Succession, where it's like they're all rich, and within that they're like bad in that way, but they have different... Where it's like, oh, I like this version of rich versus this person, and like they definitely are like... It almost feels like they're tricking you into being like, this is the good rich, or like this is the... Like they're all sort of like...
Dan sucks too. You know what I mean?
Right,
But he's supposed to be the guy. He's our into the whole show.
Yes.
But you end up being like hating him too. I think that's just why this show was amazing.
Yeah. Now, I mean,
I think they started this with the thing you're talking
Totally.
about. I would
I'll give them credit for it.
Because I think there'd be no Succession without Gossip Girl. Just putting that out there.
Makes sense.
That's what I got to say. Here's my other take. I'm going to say it on every podcast now.
Please.
I think Sinbad's funnier than Kevin Hart.
I agree. But I also think that, and this is like a take that I think is just like amongst like alt comedy fans, maybe people who are like too online. It's like Kevin Hart, his like movie star persona has taken over his stand up persona so much that people are just like, he's not funny. I'm like, he is, but he's also annoying. It's
Right,
just
right.
that he is everywhere. And if it
Yeah.
was just like he's just a stand-up comedian, I think we'd all be a little more like, oh, he's fine. But I think it's like he's just everywhere and plays the same type of character, and people are just like mad about that, so they have to be sort of use him as shorthand as like the shitty guy. And I'm like, But also, it's like I'm not like I'm not a fan of his or a hater. I'm just sort of like he's just there, and I think everyone gets upset because he's everywhere. Sinbad is hilarious.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a huge Kevin Hart fan. I just didn't realize the reason is because because I like Kevin Hart. I mean, because I like Sinbad so much.
Oh, really?
Because I feel like they're almost like he's just an early version of Kevin Hart to me. Anyway, we'll talk about that more on every podcast.
On every single episode.
Is this something you've said on this podcast before many
The one
times?
before this one.
Okay, so this is a season 3
I
thing.
think this is gonna be a thing that I do that's gonna ruin my career.
I think you should start asking every guest like, who you going for, Sinbad or Kevin Hart?
Yeah.
You just keep a tally.
Yeah. Who
Okay.
you going for in their celebrity
That'll make
death
it
match?
fun. That'll make it less vindictive.
And then go after them if they say Kevin Hart.
Okay.
Yeah, just be like, ooh.
Yeah.
Get out.
Get out of my house of Headgum.
The end of this Serena story.
Fuck this episode.
We've been doing.
I don't even
we've been
remember
doing
how it ends,
so much.
honestly.
Well, Carter calls her out, and I was like, man, you don't even like you used me to
Yeah.
like ruin Chuck's bit. I was like, I don't like the dude, but I wouldn't have done that to him.
It's like you
Yeah,
did
yeah.
though.
Yeah,
Same thing. Let's say he doing the same non-accountable shit.
Yeah.
Like he knew it was happening. I think he was just like, that was him just being like, I'm into you.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm down to fuck up people's shit. I just want to hook up too.
I was just, it felt like such a thing. It's like he showed up and she was just like, oh, look who's here. Should we go mess with him? If I were him, I'd be like, you definitely knew he was
knew
here.
he was coming,
So
yeah.
why?
Yeah.
But he truly is just so down bad. He's like, all right, yeah, let's go do this. And then
I ain't down bad.
and then he gets called out. And like Chuck is like, yeah, she's using you. And he has this moment where it just is like, wait, she is. And I'm like, you didn't. You must have gotten that at some point earlier.
Wow, wait a
has to
second.
know.
I was down bad.
I'ma be alright.
But her and Ruth make up. Ruth is like, I want to be more in your life than just another one of your
this
mom's
scene was
husband.
weird. I was getting vibes up in this
Really?
scene.
I thought it was innocent and sweet, and I thought it was Ruth literally being like, I will be your father figure. Put your tiny hand in mine. Which wait, now that
It was a nice scene. It was a
vibes
nice
from
scene.
the
It just was like, I guess he just the way they were sitting. I don't know, that blocking was just weird.
I think this is also a show where it's like you sort of feel like they
don't know.
want every like permutation of characters to like date. So it does feel like, oh, are you guys going here?
I've said this about some other
thought it
shit
was
one
gonna
time.
happen, yeah.
It was it was Blair and who was it? It was
Rufus.
Blair and Rufus.
It's
Yeah,
always Rufus. I feel like.
yeah. I feel like just like Rufus be low key flirting with everybody. Like, or
Yeah.
is that just us being like, we love Rufus?
Yeah, maybe we're just projecting that because he's like so infallible.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's probably just being a good father. In this scene.
Yeah. He's dope. Rufus is dope.
Like he's literally like, it's just like we can't comprehend the idea of a woman being with Rufus and not being in love with him.
I saw this TikTok about. We'll talk about this after. Never mind. I don't know why.
No, go on. Describe a visual medium on this podcast.
Yeah. No. We'll talk about it after. But Serena's gonna fuck this relationship up. Like Rufus is trying to help her. She's gonna fuck it up. She's just like Jenny, and Rufus gonna have to go through Jenny all over again.
Yeah. That's why I felt bad. I was like, no, Rufus, stay away.
Yeah.
This is not good for him at all.
All right, now
He's
back
gotta get out
to
of this
Blair
family.
in this episode. So Blair, we already discussed she had a party. Nobody showed up to it. Regina, she walk outside. She seen Regina hand out flyers for her rooftop party.
Yeah.
She realized she ain't got no friends. Ain't nobody really fucking with her. So who's the last person she go to? Dan, who's making all these friends. He's coming in.
He was yucking it up.
He's yucking it up. He's talking about,
He's like Judy Blume
Judy
and
Blume taught me
shit.
all about women.
I love that scene. I was cracking up.
Yeah, that shit was stupid. But he this girl like him. I like the girl I like the girl that likes Dan.
What was her name again? Katie
or something. Was that
Oh
her name?
yeah, who was like, sorry to be eavesdropping. Are you Dan at the coffee shop?
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, you found this man.
Yeah, he was
that
chasing him.
Eavesdropping.
But he's
looking for
in
him.
her writing group now. So Blair goes up to him and is like, "Can I be your date to the party?"
Yeah.
Now let me backtrack a little bit because we missed over like one of the themes of the episode: second chances. So basically, Regina George walked up to them and was like, "Listen, can we all get coffee or something?" And it's Vanessa's here too.
Yeah.
Vanessa and Dan are having the tiff like from the first episode, and then so they're trying to patch things up and they're like, you clean slate, like let's just go to college. And then Regina George walks up and is like, clean slate, can we just go to college and be friends?
Yeah,
and Dan's like,
no,
you're crazy. Like you've done too much. Like, and she has like done.
She literally like lied about who she was to like, and then like completely infiltrated their friend group.
And they're all going to the same college, coincidentally.
Yeah, they're all going to NYU.
Great.
And so, which is a private school, ain't it?
Yes.
Yeah. So
I don't know how Regina George got in that. That don't make no sense.
Is she also rich?
She is, but she's a fuck up. Like she's been in boarding school, the military, Jesus camp. Like she's been like, cause she's a insane person. Like,
right.
She's like great. She's gonna get them killed. Like,
I guess I at first I was like, how did all these kids get into the school? But I guess if I am just again remind myself like they're all rich, I'm just sort of like, I guess if they want to go to that school they can. But I guess it's just crazy to me that they all chose to go.
But to be fair, it did happen very organically. Like because it was like they were all supposed to go to different schools, but it just happened. This is like where they ended up.
Yeah,
like
that's where they ended up.
NYU is like, fuck, I'm at NYU. Mm-hmm. They want to be at somewhere.
Why didn't they make it to like CUNY?
Yeah, like Hunter NY or something.
Because Blair would never go there.
Yeah.
That would have been cool. That would be cool if they were at like real community college or something.
So like, basically like, so Blair comes with her tail between her legs. Mm-hmm. Can I be a date to Regina's party? He on his second chance shit. He's like, all right, if Blair can change anything. So they get to the party. Let me make sure I'm doing it. Oh, yeah. So they get to the party. They walking up the stairs, and she's like, thank you for doing this. Like, and he was like, I've been on
the other side of this.
Yeah, I've been on the other side of this, and I hope that somebody would do this for me. But let's be honest, it wouldn't be you. And she's like, and then he takes off her headband. They get up to the party.
That shit was funny. No headbands in college. No headbands in college.
And so they get up there. Everybody's having a good time at the party. It's a dope time. Dan is like the man now. Everybody's Dan.
I like
he never experienced it. He's like popular now, you know? And Blair's just standing around. Mm-hmm. And then finally, like a little while later, Blair gets a text and they're like, oh, we're here. Mm-hmm. And she goes on the mic and goes, Regina's real friends are here, whatever, like kind of throws the party. And then all the Jesus freaks show up and like, she's trying to convert y'all freshmen. Yeah. And then this works.
I like the disrespect to the Jesus.
It didn't feel like it worked to me. Like it just felt like, I think they didn't show any reactions of people being like, this is weird, or like, we hate Georgina. So it just felt like this thing where like, that happened and I was like, what's going on?
Yeah, because Blair thinks she's good at scheming, but she's really not. They always halfway thought it. She's like, okay, they're going to show up and it's going to be crazy. But they didn't. They were just there, and then everybody was kind of like, "All right, who are these people? Why are they here?" Like,
here's a funny thing about that too, because then Blair started trying to invite people to the monkey bar or whatever. Monkey bar,
limos parked outside. I was like, "How many limos?"
Yeah. And so she was like, she goes to Dan and is like, "Yeah, so I used you, but I'll repay you. No good deed goes unnoticed."
And Regina George is told Dan that she's using him.
Yeah, she was like, Blair's using you. Yeah, don't trust her. Like, she's using you. And he's like, no, he tried
to give her another chance.
I'm gonna give everybody in this episode second
chances for everybody.
Second chances. Nobody's using. Nobody believes. Like that's one thing that gets on my nerves. Like people try to tell you something in this show. Like, hey, watch out for this. No, I'm not watching out for it. I need to get burned.
They got an hour to fill. They're like, we gotta really slow this down. Everyone's dumb.
This stove is hot. Nah, I'm gonna put my hand on it.
There's no way.
There's no way the stove is hot. I'm gonna put my hand on it. So we find that out. Mm-hmm. The Jesus people come.
Disrespect.
Yeah, the and then Katie is like, well, looks at Dan and goes, well, are you going to the monkey bar?
Yeah.
And he's like,
He's like, I don't know what a monkey bar is.
Yeah, could you explain it to me? Then he gets on the mic and is like, hey, so nobody wants to go with Blair. Everybody wants to stay here because we having a good time, right?
Who wants to drink beer with me?
All the Jesus freaks did it too.
I'm gonna get that.
Did you see that? All the Jesus freaks was like,
that's funny.
That's hilarious.
That's pretty funny.
And so
this guy seems cool.
Yeah. He seems like forgiving, like the Lord.
And Blair slinks off, and I'm like, oh, she's about to try to get more revenge. I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Like, or does she actually feel like, man, I really ain't got no friends?
It looked like she kind of was on the outs there.
Yeah.
She learned her lesson for the episode, but I'm sure like 3 episodes later she'll try again.
This has happened so many times.
But she should have learned. I think I'm a little surprised that Blair didn't know that Cass wasn't wearing headbands in college. She should have been able to figure that out.
She should have
Like,
known that. Like, ain't nobody wearing them stupid ass headbands.
I think she has her own rules about how college is supposed to go, and the headbands for her are just like, this is I'm gonna change the trend or whatever.
Oh yeah, like I don't care if they're doing it or not. We gonna make headbands.
She clearly didn't learn anything from like the pizza party where it's like everyone is having so much more fun just hanging out, watching a documentary about what was it, like something about like some humanitarian crisis or something. I'm like, there's no way you guys are enjoying this.
When the gangbanger picked the first carrot, I was like,
nah, come on.
It's one of them racial microaggressions that this show be having sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have enough people of color on this damn show to be making jokes
No, they
like
do
that.
not. No, God.
That's why every time there's a person of color on the show, I go, hey, that's Gossip Girl. I ain't since the beginning. But every time it's a black person, especially, like last episode, there was a black security guard. I'm like, Gossip Girl.
Double, toil and trouble.
Right, sis, boom, bye. Now, here's the one thing that I breezed over a little bit when we do it by story. I forgot something here. Scott had a little moment of going nuts, but it didn't make any sense.
That was weird. I didn't understand that either.
They didn't pay that off.
Was that when he was like, I don't want to talk about college?
Yeah,
he
I
was
don't
like,
want to talk about this.
I didn't realize I was going to be tested
you know
right now.
Dang, I think I know why.
Why?
I want to be honest and say it's not because I've seen it, just because this is what I think it is, because I don't really remember. But it probably, if I'm right, it's a spoiler. Do you want me to say?
Can I make a guess?
Yeah,
he's not actually going to school, or like,
that's what
I felt.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I could pick that up. I was like, he's not enrolled.
Yeah, that's generally how I felt in that scene. So that's probably what we were supposed to, or that's probably the energy that he.
I gotta be honest. Every time you say Scott, I'm just like, who the fuck? Because like every man in the show looks the same.
There's a reason he looks the same as Dan because.
Wait, why?
That's his brother.
Really?
Yeah. But they don't know it yet. They don't know it yet.
Oh, okay. Like in universe, it's his brother.
Yeah. So in universe, so like in that dude Scott, he is he's Rufus and Lily. Gave him up for adoption.
Got it. And he came back.
Rufus didn't know.
Okay.
And so this was like a big plot line for last season. Where
wait, he didn't know that he gave him up for adoption?
No,
he didn't know that Lily did.
He didn't know that Lily was pregnant.
He didn't know Lily was pregnant.
How?
Yeah, because
You don't know Lily yet.
You don't know Lily
okay,
yet.
right,
I think this deep in the season is going to be hard to bring up.
No, yeah, okay.
There's a lot of shit that happened.
You guys got to have some finally like the YouTube videos that's just like, here's the recap for season 1, here's the recap for season 2.
Yeah. So basically, like,
he looked just
in
like
so many
Dan.
words, Lily, Serena. So Dan and Serena dated.
Yeah.
But Lily and Rufus had a love affair since the 80s when he was a rock star.
Right.
And they liked each other. But Lily went off to marry rich dudes all the time and became super rich and all that type of stuff. She was already born rich, but like that was the life that her mom kind of planned for her.
Yeah.
So her mom basically told Rufus, hey, by the way, you had a kid. And Rufus went nuclear on the shit. Like he was like, what the fuck? Like you ain't tell me? And so they started trying to go find the kid. And the parents of the adopted kid finally got them back and was like, he died. But the truth is,
he's alive.
The other kid died. And they were like, we already lost one kid. We can't lose the other.
So they didn't
Their
want to
real
give him
kid
up.
is still alive. And that's Scott. And now he's trying to infiltrate.
And Scott happens to be in New York with them all too.
He's coming. He's
on
doing it on
purpose.
purpose.
He knows.
He knows.
Got it.
They don't know.
And he's like, I got to go find my brother.
Yeah, so that's why I think when that scene happened, which is confusing, even knowing all this, it was still confusing in this moment because I still wasn't understanding why he was being so angry.
Yeah.
But I think your guess is right that I think
he don't
probably
go to that
don't
school.
have, and that's why he's recommend. Because that makes sense. Because remember they were like, why'd you recommend that teacher? He sucked.
He went to like ratemyprofessors.com. Like,
It's like this guy seems good. That makes sense.
He walked by the door and said, Professor Dogma.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You should take him.
That's in that
you
class.
got me in
That's
religious
funny.
studies 304.
Yeah, I can imagine Vanessa in his class like, why he recommend this motherfucker? It's just this whack ass teacher.
Also, he's supposed to be a freshman like you are. How would he know?
He said he went in summer school. He said
he went summer school.
Oh, so his excuse is, I went to summer school and took some classes, and you should take those same classes.
Yeah.
Those aren't the same classes, first of all.
That's a stupid ass.
She don't know shit.
God damn.
She getting duped by Scott.
In their defense, you could tell me anything as a freshman in college, and I'd be like, okay, all right, sure.
Like, whatever. Is this how it works? Yeah.
I think I just have to take half the class, and then I'll like the teacher.
So
That
Blair
makes
walks
sense,
off.
though. I forgot about that bad teacher recommendation.
Yeah.
I love
he went off.
any
what it
plot
is.
that's just like someone
Yeah.
going to find their long lost sibling. I'm just like, why? Like, who cares?
Yeah.
Like, I think I'd just be like, well, your life is so like we're not
That's
going to
what I
be
was saying. Like,
friends.
I hate this character.
Yeah,
Scott.
this
Yeah.
dude, he's not great, and now he's
Yeah.
dating Vanessa, who's Dan's childhood best friend.
Also,
So-
it doesn't fully explain why they look alike because it's like he's dressing the same, he's styling his hair.
No, he's obsessed with this.
Yeah,
he's
okay.
Like, he knows his writing and everything. This
He's
kid,
trying to
Scott.
single white female his brother.
Yeah, he like.
Oh,
he-
because maybe because
I'll be the new
shit.
Dan.
Because Dan is rich now because Ruth married
Oh,
Lily.
yeah.
Maybe he is trying to kill him off.
I don't know.
It's like I should have been the brother who got all this.
Yeah,
I know. 'Cause
Okay.
like, in my
His
life,
dealing
I
with
live
what?
in Boston.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hate Boston.
Yeah, Boston
so
Trash,
bad.
yeah.
That's his tragic backstory.
Yeah, I'm a
He's
Knicks
like,
fan.
I like the Knicks and the Yankees.
Yeah. So basically like that's it for like Blair walked off. She saw that
coached,
Dan
and
got
then
her
went
back.
with the Bass. They got the little cuddle on.
Yeah,
That was
yeah,
weird.
she goes and gets in the bed with Chuck Bass.
Yeah.
Serena go get back with Carter Bazin.
Mm-hmm.
Dan wakes up at the party. He fell
Oh, yeah,
asleep
give
at
him
the
my
party.
shit, nigga.
Now,
Stop
here, pick up your
bullshitting
bell.
out
Pick up
here.
your bell.
Get your
With
bells
Georgia-
on.
okay.
Dan went to
This is a big
sleep
deal.
at the party, and the camera whips over. He's kissing on Regina George.
I've powered of Christ. Yo, that shit. I knew that was gonna happen, but I forgot if it was just gonna be like, oh, what are you doing here? Like we ain't know. But when he kissed her, I was like, dang it. 'Cause
Yeah.
he was like, yeah, girl.
He done got. He done.
They
he
fucked
done
on the
fucked it
roof.
up again.
You
I
were
know.
right about Blair.
With their
It
clothes
turns me on.
Yeah.
Yeah, with their clothes on.
With their clothes on. They fucked on
Yeah.
the roof with their clothes on.
That's New York.
That's
Yeah.
New York for you. I'm walking over here.
But she really,
Fucking on the roof
What do
over
you think of
here.
this? You think it's a good thing? This is bad, huh?
This is terrible. She sucks.
Yeah, from what you guys have told me.
So he's so stupid. Everybody on this show should be called Stupid Girl.
Well, I mean, supposedly Gossip Girl is going to be the only smart one.
Yeah, she gotta
Also,
be.
I think I can't say and I won't say, but it's funny. Like I was watching this and I feel like I remember when the finale happened and they found out who Gossip Girl was, and so I was just watching that with this lens.
Oh yeah.
I won't.
Don't
I'm not
don't.
saying shit. Let's move on.
Yeah,
We
let's
gonna
move
move
That was just
on.
my experience.
But yeah, I was like, part of me was like, damn, because also he got that one girl, Katie. That's a good look for him.
Yeah, that's a good
Yeah,
look.
and
He's-
Georgina's not. That's not a good idea.
I'm like, go with Katie.
But I
bro.
I
Yeah.
get it. He was probably got lit,
Yeah.
whatever.
They went to the monkey bar and then they came back to the roof.
They did.
the
The
monkey
two of them
bar.
just went to the monkey bar.
Also,
like,
did
yo,
everybody leave them on the roof sleep?
Probably.
What happened? Like,
Oh
yeah.
man, we're gonna leave these folks on the roof.
You know who's really good at second chances is Jesus. I can
Yeah.
tell you about him
Yeah.
if you want.
Oh my gosh! Listen, this episode was pretty good.
I liked it. Yeah.
Serena did not take accountability for what she did to Chuck. She probably ruined
Yeah,
he's got to.
Yeah.
It's really like I don't see how him calling her a train wreck would make it okay in her brain to completely ruin his future.
Yeah. Like that was like a gross. What's it called when it's not balanced? Or like
Imbalance?
just uneven.
Gross point blank.
What's things called when it's not balanced?
It's an imbalance?
A chemical imbalance.
But I'm afraid for Serena now. I don't know what Chuck might do. I think he's gonna. You know what? He might let it go.
He's
What do
going
you
to
think?
call
You
all
think
the
he-
other Dick Tracy villains come
Yeah,
in.
yeah. He's like, I'm about to take you down, but I think because he was actually genuinely concerned for her. So
You better
Yeah, he
not
was
talk
like,
back
I
to me. I
told
got
Rufus-
this Tommy gun. Me and my boys with the
see?
other suspenders are going to come down. And
I told Rufus because I was concerned. You ruined my future.
yeah, what do you think, Carl? You think he's gonna go in on her, or you think he's gonna let it go?
I mean,
I don't know.
I hope he goes in on it. She deserves
I think
it.
he might let it go.
did they was there a moment where she apologized or anything this episode? No, right?
No, she never
She apologized to
apologizes.
Rufus.
She, even that was not even an apology. That was
Yeah.
like, you could
I
be
think-
my stepdad.
She just recapped what she
Yeah.
did. So
I
here's-
think Chuck
here's
will
what I
let
do.
it go. I think Chuck will just be sort of like, we're not friends anymore now. And then
Yeah.
they'll
Yeah,
air
it'd be
it
one
then.
of those things. Where like,
Yeah.
I don't really want to talk to you.
He probably gonna move out of the house with them because is he still staying there?
No, he got his. He's
Oh, he
back.
got- yeah, he's got
in
his- he got his
in
Chuck
the
loft.
Bass Tower now.
He's got his Chuck
Bachelor pad.
Bass loft.
I
all
loved
right.
it. I love this.
What do you
I'm-
get?
I'm
What do you
giving
get this
it a
episode?
4.5.
I just feel because I have nothing to say about the subplot, but there's also the two people who spend the entire time in a hotel room Joanna Garcia.
I forgot to mention this.
I watched that entire thing and be like, I don't have the backstory for this, but
Nate and Bree Buckley.
I was like,
Bree Buckley.
I don't want you to get mad tweets.
Nate and Bree Buckley. Bree Buckley is from a rival family, the Buckley. So Nate is a Archibald / Vanderbilt.
Got it.
Yeah.
And Buckley is like, I guess she's like the granddaughter of William Buckley. You know, the guy, the conservative guy from back in the day.
No.
He debated James Baldwin.
Yeah, the big Buckleys.
But they conservative family versus and they families are at war basically.
Yeah.
And then people are finding out that they are dating each other, so it's a thing. I don't care about this story.
Yeah, this is
okay.
stupid.
I was just
Also,
like,
but it seems like what they're trying to say is they're into each other for real.
Yeah,
now.
they really like each other.
Yeah.
Because at first it was just supposed to be like a tryst.
Yeah.
And then she suggested that, like, oh, what if we
I
spend
don't see
24
this
hours,
making it. This is
24
not a
hours
good
together in
thing.
this room and just do our whole relationship in that point. So we don't have to go through the whole, like, we're dating, we break up. But then while they're spending that time in the room, they find out that they really like each other.
that was a thing I was like, that's a bad plan. That's never, I don't think that would work for anybody. It's like, what if we spend a lot of time together and then we'll just stop? It's like, no. It's not.
That's not how
But it
fall in love
also,
with each
it was
other.
funny watching this because my girlfriend who's seen the show, I was just like, what's this relationship? And she was like, I don't know. I think she's like a teacher or something. So I was watching it just being like, are we supposed to like this like couple? And also we're just coming back in and I'm like, wait, he's fucking a teacher? Didn't they just start going to school? Like, but then it's clearly like she's not. And it was just, I didn't understand what was going on for so much of it.
That's interesting.
But
no, it was a terrible storyline.
Terrible storyline. That's why we breezed over it. But
Fair.
What do you give this episode?
I give it 4 points. I still love this episode because I love seeing Dan and the man. Dan's the man. I like this version of Dan. He dresses better too.
Yeah.
Chuck is doing all right. He's trying to get his life together.
trying to get his life together.
I'd rather
Serena's
see him.
fucking,
I'd rather see this. You don't want to see the Chuck that we saw.
Yeah.
I don't like the Chuck I saw.
I mean, there's no cool Chuck, but I'm just saying, if you're watching the show every day like we do,
We watch the show
I need
every
something.
day.
I need some mild version of this guy. So I'll give it 4.5.
All right, so that's
XOXO, XOXO, XOXO,
XOXO, XO. That's what that is.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna give it a 4 point. I'm also give it a 4.5.
Cool.
Because I agree with your assessment of it. I think that Nate and Reba's daughter story is unnecessary. So that's
XOXO, 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 XO.
Demi, what do you give it? Now that you figured out our grading system, a very complicated grading system.
Yeah, well, the grading system makes me want to give it even more. But I think that I'm sort of grading it on how much I would want to keep watching the show, and for that, I'm going to give it like 3 out of 5.
3?
And I think that's because like so much of the story, I'm just like, I don't care. This seems dumb and like very like overwritten in a way where it's like this is only happening because they need conflict. But then it's like there are certain characters that I do feel like, oh, okay, I'd like to see what they become, or like, oh, it's fun to watch them. Like Blair, I think she's awful, but she is sort of like the show's clearly punching up at her in a way, and I'm like, that's fun. I want to see that. And it's like funny when she's on screen. And then also I'm like, I had a lot of fun just making fun of Chuck as I was watching. I was like, I want to keep doing that.
Yeah.
So
3.
3.
All right.
3. I like that.
XOXO, XOXO, XOXO.
Rochelle, what do you give it?
I'm gonna give it a 4.75.
4.7.
Great
Big
time.
time.
You had a great time. It's a good episode.
You had a great
But
time.
not
You
a
had a
perfect
blast.
Good episode.
Took me back to college.
Yeah.
That's what it's gonna be like when you graduate.
When you graduate, Rochelle's 15.
Right, yes.
So that's
XOXO,
XOXO, XOXO, XOXO, XOXO.
I don't have any news today.
No news. Well, we had a great guest and we've gone for 6 hours.
Yeah.
Demi, Adejuyigbe, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you
Our
for
brother
having
in
me.
Christ. How, where are you at? Where can they find you? Where can they get to you? How can they access you? How can they break down that glass wall?
I'm on Twitter and Instagram at Electrolemon, and you cannot break down that glass wall. I am unattainable.
There you go,
You
folks.
can
follow.
talk at me. I will be gone.
Yeah. follow up. Also follow us at XOXO Gossip Kings _podcast. We want to hear what you think about the third season so far.
Yeah, what do
Please.
y'all think? I'm curious if
Let
you
us
guys
know.
excited.
And send us a recipe of a good dessert that
Okay,
you think.
real quick, because I saw in the before that Wallace Shawn is on the show, and that's what got me like, whoa, who, what?
Yeah, he is showing in this episode.
Who is he?
He's Blair's stepdaddy.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's
Okay.
great.
He's
He's
awesome.
the best part of the show.
Yeah, I love him.
Him, Serena's brother Eric and Rufus are best friends
They're
in
the
the
best
show.
characters. They call them the three amigos.
And Katie, this new Katie girl that likes Dan. You're not gonna go to the monkey bar, are you?
She is working that head like a Nicki Minaj video.
Like, what a read. And the other best character is the girl who goes, close the door behind you.
Yeah, I hope I see her.
She
again,
better
too.
come back.
We got to get her back in there. She needs to be the captain of the cheerleading team or something.
So
They do
mad.
have a basketball team at NYU. And that is, so follow us, XOXO Gospel Kids _podcast. Yeah, we're having a good time. We cooking with Crisco, baby. We're rolling. We're rolling. Dessert recipes. I don't like chocolate, so send your fruity dessert recipes.
Yeah.
I got some dessert recipes for you.
Hell yeah, let's get. Oh, you making some good ass desserts.
That I do.
Yeah, I've had some of your desserts. You make some good ass desserts. Don't send me a galette either. Y'all, I'm talking y'all.
What is that?
It's like a fake ass apple pie.
I
Like
don't know about that.
I made
a
one
bread
for,
bowl apple pie. Man.
Halloween a couple years ago, and it's fun to make and less fun to eat.
Yeah, it gets dry,
Yeah,
right?
it's hard to. It's like a pizza, but like just soggy.
Yeah, it's tough. But yeah, we'll see you next time on XOXO Gossip Kings. Good night.
Good night.
That was a Headgum podcast.